Imagine a geopolitical crisis so severe that it involved the most elite military forces on the planet. We're talking carrier groups being deployed, global economic instability, and yet you've probably never heard of it.
It's almost completely unknown.
Exactly. This wasn't just some minor skirmish. The sources we have point to a global near war, an event that touched everything from oil prices to satellite security, and then just, well, vanished.
It became a secret.
That's the mystery we're diving into today. We've got this incredible set of materials. It's almost like a cinematic storyboard detailing a clandestine operation in Venezuela and what came after.
A terrifying global escalation.
Right. So our mission here is to track this thing from that initial covert spark through the military and the cyber escalation, right up to how it was resolved, and most importantly, how it became this secretive historical footnote.
And that's really the core of it, isn't it? That transformation. Because the source material describes this massive confrontation where the stakes were just maximal.
Military, economic, everything.
Everything. But the public visibility was deliberately kept at, well, zero. So we're not just relaying events, we're analyzing the sheer power it takes to manage a crisis like this, and then they just pull a curtain over the entire thing.
It's like looking at the invisible infrastructure of conflict management.
Exactly.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Act 1 of this hidden drama, because it all hinged on one single, unbelievably high-risk move. The storyboard calls it the ultimate hidden history opening scene.
The trigger.
The covert extraction of a president from Venezuela.
And what's fascinating right away is the scale of the reaction compared to the scale of the action itself.
Right. This wasn't a huge invasion force.
No, not at all. The sources really emphasize the precision. A single high-risk covert op. We're talking a very small number of elite forces.
Deep penetration specialists.
Probably operating under just impossible timelines. Immense pressure.
And the risk profile of an act like that, I mean, it's just astonishing. Extracting a sitting head of state, and whatever the politics are, that's probably the most aggressive thing you can do short of actually declaring war.
It's a fundamental violation of sovereignty. It completely upends the entire regional balance.
So what does the storyboard say about how they pulled it off? Was it just sheer audacity? Or was it built on, I don't know, some kind of intelligence collapse inside Venezuela?
It suggests there's a bit of both, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, to pull it off, you need a profound intelligence failure on the Venezuelan government's part. A huge breach in their security.
Someone on the inside.
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
But the audacity is really shown by what happened next. The immediate, massive global impact. The second that extraction was confirmed, all the dominoes just fell. Instantly.
And not just political dominoes. The fall was economic. Deeply economic.
Precisely.
Yeah.
That's the key. The extraction was seen by global powers as this immediate threat to the stability of energy supplies, maritime trade.
The markets don't wait for diplomatic calls, do they?
Not a chance. The risk spiked, and that immediately triggered worldwide economic instability. And we're not just talking about, some stock market jitters. The sources hint at a 40% spike in oil futures in under 48 hours.
40%.
And a halt, a temporary but critical halt in global shipping insurance for the Gulf region.
Wow. That shipping insurance detail, that tells you everything.
It tells you they thought bullets were about to fly.
When the actuaries get spooked, you know it's serious. And this wasn't just happening on trading floors. That one covert act triggered a massive military mobilization.
All around the world. And the scramble wasn't just defensive posturing. It was about power projection.
Showing the flag.
Absolutely. The powers with global interests, trade lanes, energy assets, they couldn't just sit back. They had to signal their commitment. And in geopolitics, that means moving the heaviest pieces you have on the board.
And that speed of transition from a handful of operators in Caracas to the world's great powers rushing towards a confrontation, it's just breathtaking.
It is.
So, okay, let's move from that surgical spark to the global fire that it started. The response shifted this from a covert act to a full-blown global confrontation, physical and digital.
And the storyboard describes this escalation as a sort of masterclass in modern crisis management. It's this blend of overwhelming traditional military force with the hidden asymmetric threat of cyber warfare.
On the physical side, the descriptions are they're so visceral. The action shifts to these tense command centers on different continents.
Real-time decisions, immense pressure.
And the most visible sign, the most terrifying sign of it all, was the deployment of naval carrier groups.
A carrier group isn't just sending a ship, is it? It's a statement.
It's an act of maximal escalation.
Each one is a multi-billion-dollar commitment. 10,000 people, dozens of support vessels. Moving one of those things is a massive diplomatic and logistical exercise in itself.
So their coordinated movement signals that everyone was past the point of just thinking about a conflict.
They were actively preparing for it. It's the ultimate signal of national will.
And while those carriers were steaming towards the crisis zone, the battle had already started somewhere else.
Yes, it had gone digital.
This is where it gets really interesting for me. The crisis expands to the digital realm.
At the same time, while the heavy metal was moving, the real-time fight was happening in cyber warfare rooms.
And not just, simple hacking.
No, the sources strongly imply state-level actors were targeting critical infrastructure. We're talking about the C4ISR of opposing forces.
Command, control, communications, computers, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, the works.
Disrupting satellite links, jamming command frequencies, maybe even preparing to hit power grids or financial systems to, paralyze an enemy before a single shot is fired.
That combination is just terrifying. You have the carrier groups, which represent this slow, devastating physical power.
And then you have the cyber teams offering speed, deniability, and the ability to cause catastrophic damage without a single casualty. At first, anyway.
The storyboard makes it clear that this mix is what pushed the world to the very brink of open conflict.
It created a state of mutually assured escalation. If you launch a cyber attack that blinds a carrier group, what's the response? It could be kinetic.
And if you move a carrier into firing range, the response could be a crippling digital attack on your home country's financial system.
The risk of accidental escalation must have been at an absolute maximum.